Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Sherlock Holmes, Chapter 1. And in the last episode, guys, our search for the lady in John's sketch led us to a refugee camp underneath the bridge between Silverton and Scaladio. And we showed up just in time to help solve a murder. And we're going to have to solve that murder before we can actually see the refugees, because everyone is a suspect, and all of the refugees have apparently been stuck in that shack over here, and we can't see them until the job is done. So we've done a little bit of progress here. We also saved this fellow's life with the application of aloe vera and some bandages. And let's see if there's any other evidence that we can find before we go look at the body itself. Looks like we've got multiple officers here. I don't know what good they would be. I guess we could ask. Let's make sure we got the right thing pinned, though. Got the body, crime scene.
Help me, please. A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Alright, that's about what we expected. Now we have the body. We also got...
If they find out about the passage, everything will go to hell.
Beg your pardon? Find out what the passage is for. Lockdown. Take refugees out. Money. Makes sense. Maybe we got a little side racket going on here.
Find out about the passage.
Sleuth, hysteria, take refugees out, money. Police officers are worried that the situation with the dead body will put the camp into strict lockdown, and they will lose money flow they were earning from their scheme.
Nobody will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell fishy here, Sherry. Perhaps we should sniff around in the camp a little more thoroughly.
Good call. John suggests we could learn more about this matter by asking around the camp, but we should do this before we leave the camp for good. The place might be put into lockdown again. So maybe when we actually get to talk to the refugees.
Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea?
One that was elected, quote unquote. Okay. Don't see anything else that we can observe other than overhearing those officers. Let's finally take a look at the body here. Make sure we got this pinned.
Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here.
Is this our man? Oh, that is a nice knife.
A steel dirk. Sharp. A common accessory among sailors and soldiers.
See a tattoo.
An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something?
Got a fine goatee, or he had a fine goatee.
I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain. Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was limping, John. A violent death. This man, limping. Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John. You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
How did the intruder get broke into the camp? What are the options? Maybe through the sewer grate? Ah, that's where the refugees are filtered through.
Sealed shut. I doubt our man could get through these grates.
Never mind. Forget I said anything. Oh, I see a ladder. Okay. Our investigative predator.
No, it's too short for these walls or cliffs.
Don't see anything lit up there. Oh, of course, my boat. Makes complete sense, really.
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards.
Well, fine, Sherlock, be that way. Put all the holes in the theories, just like that man has a bunch of holes in his chest. Well, I guess we could see if there's anything this direction. Chickens. Wait. What was this? Oh. Could have paid off a guard. Pall Malls?
A single Malpal butt.
Oh, excuse me, Malpals.
Roadman cigarettes. A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
Alright. Let's go ahead and go into the Mind Palace here real quick, though. The dead man from the refugee camp was the same person who had broken into Vogel's gallery, and potentially killed Mercurio. We'll just sit here on this completely safe bridge. And what do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yaza. Well, we've got the beads. The beads broke over here. Yeah, that definitely happened. I don't know in what order. That's accurate. Maybe the improvised club. I don't think he was here for friendly reasons. I think he had a, yeah. I think he had a hold of her. You know, maybe the child... Oh, you know, that makes sense. If the child is like a, the offspring of like a powerful person in Cordona, that could cause all kinds of havoc. Kind of reminds me of From Hell. So this guy showed up. Did he stab? Oh, it was this guy. Okay, so that's how he got shanked. We helped him, though. He still tries to lead her out. This guy shows up, and what happens next? Do they wrestle? There could be a struggle there. I mean, one guy's barefoot, the other one... I can't tell which way he's going, though. Actually, he could have just been running. Okay, we have broken pots and such. That's more accurate. Oh, he stabbed himself. Oh, God. And then a nice little push, which leads to the bloody handprint. No, I think this is absolutely what happened. So, just to recap, the guy with the limp tries to drag the girl out of the camp. Runs into this guy, basically stabs him. We're able to save his life afterward. The villagers are restless, start heading toward him. He goes ahead and pushes her away, breaking the necklace. He decides to make a run for it because people are obviously upset with him, and he can't stab everybody. And this guy ran up, decided to soccer kick the crates, sending him flying into his own dagger, hence the upward penetration. And then they just go ahead and push him into the sewer, where he probably belongs. That looks good to me. Let's go ahead and see if that is what happened. Neat.
So, we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
I like it. Okay, asking around the camp. Oh, I don't know who we need to necessarily be talking to here. Let's talk to the refugees first and foremost. Well, should we? Let's ask at least one officer. And not the two who are whispering.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Okay. We'll talk to the refugees then. Provided we get access to them. It is a very small shed.
You still here?
Okay, how did the intruder get into the camp? Oh, are we supposed to... provide evidence? Choose evidence? Is this what we need to do?
Inspector, I believe I can aid your investigation. I know who the dead man is and what really happened here.
You do? Well, good for you. But I'm afraid I'm not the one you need to share your findings with. Speak to Mr. Harlow here. He's the one responsible for settling things in the camp.
You don't even care to listen?
Oh, I do care. And maybe even more than I need to. But I'm only here today to lock the place up, question witnesses, and file the facts. It's sad, but coming up with conclusions is not among my tasks here. You fellows at City Hall do that. Anyway, speak to the supervisor. I'll just stand by and listen to what you have to say.
Okay. What about the...
Don't bother someone else with this, son. I've already told you all I've learned.
I guess we can just go down the gauntlet, can't we?
Your problem, not mine.
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads.
Goodness.
I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall lubberheads.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and have a chat here.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman. What he didn't expect was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You think one small clock can make any difference in this place?
Who knows, John? Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
Every little bit helps, I suppose. Oh! Alright, we've got John's redrawing of the pregnant girl. Let's go ahead and ask what's going on here at the camp.
Excuse me, just one question.
They often take us from the camp to work. Most don't mind, though. It's the only way to get a glimpse of freedom.
According to the refugees, some shady people regularly visit the camp and take refugees away with them to perform various work. The work is usually hard, but the refugees receive money and food. The girl was abused after she was supposedly taken to such work. Since then, the refugees decided not to allow their women to be taken.
So there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Indeed. Okay. We got more brownie points with John, so that's nice. We'll hear more about it if we proceed with the case. Kind of wanting to see if we can find the girl. See if we can see, like, maybe the bruises from the necklace. That makes sense, wouldn't it? Okay, I know you guys are there. Just want to see if anyone was hanging out. Oh, how's our friend doing? Wait, you're fine? He's fine. Isn't he?
Could you help me?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Okay, he may be in worse shape than I thought. You look important.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away. But we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Neila?
Neila. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Neila's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Neila, if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
I wonder what would have happened if we had let the guy die.
Hello, Neila? My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people?
Good Lord, Sherlock.
Christ, Sherlock.
Yeah. It's your turn to get...
Neila, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, glad that wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Neila doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
That's true. Okay. The man found dead inside the refugee has a distinctive tattoo on his neck. 2 lines, one over the other, and a point at the top. This man did not come here by chance. He's a very important thread in this case. And this tattoo might help me to pull it. The scars on the girl's face seem to be from her ethnic group tribe. The only place where you can... Okay, we already knew that. Okay. Mind Palace time. Badges such as these are usually awarded to high-ranking officials. The defiler from the photograph might be one. The thug wanted to kidnap the girl. The thug came to the camp intending to kidnap a woman. He had the opportunity to kill her, but that wasn't his goal. A henchman, not merely a thief. He's not merely a thief, but also a kidnapper. A henchman who takes on various roles. Yeah, this is definitely heading to, like, high society. Sketch of the abuser. Oh, he has metal. That's... okay. At a Mercurio's place, we found a photograph of... Neila drew a particular cross-shaped badge she saw on the debaucher's chest. So that's what it is. It's a medal. There's also the tattoo we can ask about. I'm curious who we ask about it to, though. How about you guys?
You still here?
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck. 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in Scaladio.
Uh-huh.
His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
Key evidence collected. Give me all evidence, please. Yes. Alright, looks like we have to do some research here. So maybe we have to go to the police archives. And maybe City Hall for this one. Okay. Well, if that is the case, let's travel here first. Oh, we are considered inside a building, apparently. Can we talk to him?
I owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
You're disturbing a hornet's nest here, son.
Awesome.
Who isn't allowed to visit the crime scene these days?
Okay, well, I don't know if they're going to go ahead and close that. Oh, and they did. Well, that ends our adventures at the refugee camp, guys. Hopefully there was nothing else there I needed to get. Oh, by the way, when I logged in, or when I started the game, I was here at the Drinking Dutchman, so we have another fast travel point here in Silverton, which I didn't even think to explore this section. So, police records first. Guess we could check the newspaper as well. I don't know.
Any progress with the case, Mr. Holmes?
Oh, Lord, no. But maybe eventually. The archives, evidence room. Trying to remember where we needed to go. Chief Inspector. Which we still can't go into. There we go. Crimes. Now... Smuggling. Alright. Suspects, witnesses... Scaladio. Instruments of crime. Documentation, impounds, criminal pattern. Could that be a criminal pattern, though? Maybe suspects? Let's see. Hey! Niccolo Bernadotti, born 1834, is a businessman and patron well known in Cordona. The founder and owner of the Bernadotti Company Limited, established 1873. Main office, southeastern Scaladio, Bazaar Road near the crossing with Roman Road. Mr. Bernadotti was brought in for questioning on February 13th, 1876, after a tip-off from one of our anonymous sources. The source provided information that points to Mr. Bernadotti's connections to the smuggling of liquors and items of antique art between British colonies, Cordona, and the rest of the United Kingdom. People allegedly working for Mr. Bernadotti's company were previously linked to a number of unlawful activities, including robbery, violence, racketeering, and blackmailing. Mr. Bernadotti was called in for questioning as a witness since there is no tangible evidence available to serve any charges. During the questioning carried out by myself and Officer Booth, Mr. Bernadotti claims to be unaware of any operations and facts provided by our source. No information could be obtained on his activities before he moved to Britain, documented or otherwise. As Mr. Bernadotti claims, up until 1873, he lived in Sicilia, Italy, where he had a vending business until he moved to London and began importing goods. Conclusion: it is not possible to incriminate Mr. Bernadotti with anything connected to the case. Uh-huh.
An impressive slice of life. The police had a lot on him, and at the same time, nothing at all. Amateurs.
Yep. But we do have a location where he could be. So that just leaves the sketch of the abuser, guys, and we'll have to head to the city archives for that. But we will do that at the beginning of the next episode. Hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. I will see you next time. Later days, everyone.